on the meetings. Like it just at the end of the day, like they got to get on. But so all right, I think it's live.
Yeah, it says live.
Like okay, so you gotta like we have to hold their hand through like Taylor just said that, and I was like, I think it's a really actually great analogy of it. It just at the end of the day. So we gotta like hold their hand from IBA to orientation. Like there's no other way about that, right? Like we just have to because they don't know what they're doing, right? Like they have no idea. Like we recruited them and we're like, hey, you're getting on an orientation tomorrow. And then they're like, great. What do I do? And you're like, watch them go in the teachable. And they don't go in the teachable. And they're like, how do I get into licensing? You're like, if you get in teachable, it's there. They don't know that stuff, right? So we have to like, it's like check in with them every couple of hours. Hey, how are you? What are you doing? How can I help you? Get into licensing, et cetera, right? And so what I was saying, Josh, is that you need to like, I guess you don't need to. I would suggest that you do this. That when you recruit them, get them scheduled for an orientation right away. So here are the next 2 orientations. Okay, the next 2 orientations are Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so Friday at 6, and then I will do Sunday at some point on Sunday. I do not know. I don't have that time locked down yet. And I know that's not helpful, but Sunday at some point we will do it. I have a meeting at 6:30 I have to go to. I could always do it after Sunday night skills at 9 o'clock if we need to. Like if we need to do it, then I can. That's totally cool. So anyway, we'll figure out what time it is. But yeah, so the next one's Friday at 6. So what I want you guys to do is anyone that you've recruited in the last like 90 days, or not 90 days, sorry, last like 5 days, call them today and say, hey, I need you on orientation tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Load up that orientation tomorrow night. It should be big. Get them on there. We've got people like setting appointments coming out of that. Like I have people like the orientations are getting better. I promise you. Like people are coming out of the orientations, setting appointments, seeing what they need to do, stuff like that. So just make sure you guys are setting those. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful, Josh. I'm not coming at you, I promise, but I just need you to challenge your people to get them on orientations. Like we have to, as a team, we have to get better at going from recruiting the IBA to orientation and into licensing. Like we got to get our licensing registration is about this. Actually, it's a little bit lower than what it was last month, like in terms of percentages. If we take that time and we get them into licensing, into like registered for licensing, that's just naturally going to yield more licenses. So we have to get them logged in. I don't care like if somebody joins today. So let's say Ellie, and let's say you're recruiting me, right? And you have me at 10 o'clock and then you got somebody else at 10:30 and I pay you money on the 10 o'clock appointment. Do not dip out of that 10:30 appointment to rush or to out of the 10 to get to the 10:30. I gave you money. Get me into licensing, push the 10:30 back 15 minutes or shop it out in the group chat. Okay. Because you're doing me a disservice by not getting me into licensing. Does that make sense? Like I gave you money. I trusted you. I'm like, you're going to get me where I need to go. We have to get our people into licensing because if like right now, I don't know if you guys remember on that licensing call that we did a couple weeks ago, we're getting about 90% or sorry, about 60% of our people into licensing. If we bumped 20% of our licenses up. So if we went from 60% to 80% of people getting into licensing, that would take us from 7 codes a month to 13 codes a month based on what's coming out the other end, just because of the sheer volume of people that we're recruiting. Does that make sense, guys? Like that's why we do the docs too. That's why you should be filling out the docs if you're full-time, because there's a bunch of different metrics in there that if you tweak one number, it makes a big change. And so it lets me as your coach look and say, what's the biggest lever we can move to get you the biggest change in results, right? And once you fix that one, then I can say, okay, you're better at that. Now we got to get better at this one, right? And then that's the whole purpose of it. So we have to get people into licensing when we recruit them. So if you've recruited anybody in the last like 30 days, I want you to call them today and I want you to make sure they're in licensing. Ask them if they need help. Just check in with them today. Okay, fair enough. Cool. All right. So we just did a kitchen table yesterday and actually the day before. Today, guys, I'm going to talk about the A diagram. Okay, so how many of you guys just put me in the Zoom chat? Don't lie. How many of you guys yesterday watched Why Primerica at the KT by Ian Pruckner? How many of you guys did your homework? Just drop a me in the Zoom chat real quick. Let's see. If you didn't, Angie, I see you shaking your head. That's okay. I'm not mad at you, but you need to do it today. Okay. Y'all need to watch it today, period. Half of it, me. All right, great. So here's what you need to do. I said this yesterday. I'm gonna say it again. You need to watch this video. You need to watch the video. Okay. And then you need to make a flashcard or a like master copy sheet that says group life insurance. And then the 3 things why it's bad. Okay. Then you're going to say whole life, the 3 reasons why it's bad. Now, why should you have that? Because then you don't need to freaking memorize it. When you're on an appointment, someone's like, I have group life. You can pull up your sheet, put it in front of your computer. And when you're talking to them, you can just glance down and it tells you what you need to tell them. Does it make sense? But you gotta watch it so you can get better. Okay. Also, guys, I just want to tell you all how proud I am of everyone being on this freaking call in the morning. 17 people in a morning call like this. We were having this many people on the Wolfpack call with Andy's team when we started recruiting 150 to 200 people a month and doing like 100,000 in premium. So I'm telling y'all, like, we're right there. It's right there for everyone here. We have a lot of new people. Y'all just got to get licensed. Once you guys start getting licenses coming in, it's going to get crazy. Okay. And I'm going to count on you guys to like help me with appointments and help each other with appointments, because our team is going to start growing very quickly. We've been recruiting a mass number of people for a couple months in a row now, and it's going to lead to an explosion. It just will. It does every time. And so just be ready for it, guys. Like, that's why I'm harping on you guys right now about those of you that did not watch Why Primerica at the KT yesterday to watch it today, because there's going to be appointments. Like last night, I had 3 7 p.m. kitchen table appointments. Okay. That is going to start to happen. That is going to start to happen a lot more regularly. And if you want to get paid, you should be licensed and be a trustworthy person for me to send an appointment to, right? Which means that you know your stuff and you can close. That's what I mean by that. Okay. And when people come in into your business, here's the fun part, guys. When people come into your business and they're like, well, where do I talk to people? And we have overflow appointments every day being dropped in the license chat, like who can run a 7, who can run a 3, who can run a 2. You can tell them once you get licensed, there's appointments all day for you. Because you're generating, you see what I'm saying? Because there's enough appointments being generated, we're right there. So we have to keep our foot on the gas as a team right now, because what's happening is it's like that hockey stick, like I'm drawing a blank on what it's actually called, but it's where, it takes off and just blows up and goes real exponential graph, right? Like it's small for a little while. It doesn't feel like anything's happening. And then all of a sudden it's just like, boom, there's an explosion that happens, guys. And every single time. So I just want to give you guys a shout out for everybody being on here and getting your new people on this too, because this is where they're going to get better, because they're going to learn how to close faster than any of you guys did, because I'm doing it this way now instead of the other way. Okay. So with that being said, Caleb, I'm going to pick on you this morning. Okay. So Caleb and Angie, y'all are not Angie Pangborn, his actual wife, Angela Pierce. So y'all are doing amazing. I'm super proud of you guys, but I'm going to close life insurance on you, okay, as if you were a client. So we just got through the entire presentation, okay? We did your quote and we found $150 a month for life insurance premium for you guys, okay? Everybody following me still? So Caleb and Angie said they could pay $200 a month. We found life insurance for 150. So I pull up my little whiteboard here. What's that? What's going on? Is that your background, Caleb? You got kids running around? No worries. Yep. Okay, cool. So we got $150 a month for life insurance.
Daddy,
so
what is he doing? That is cursed.
Let's see. All right. So Caleb, are you familiar with how escrow accounts work? Or no, shoot, I'm not in my swing of things right now. Blah, 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 blah. I got to get in my mindset of where I'm closing life insurance. Hang on. Okay. So Caleb, how life insurance works kind of like applying for college. Caleb, did you ever apply for college?
No.
No. Do you know anybody that went to college or anything like that?
I say that's
Not really.
Okay, no worries. So he's making it tough for me, guys, but watch this. You can come over the same way, I promise. So Caleb, basically how it works when you apply for college, you don't just like move onto campus right away, right? Like you'd apply, make sure you get accepted, stuff like that. Then you would go, right?
Yep.
All right, so Caleb, how life insurance works, it's basically the same thing, okay? So what we're gonna do, basically there's an escrow payment. Caleb, are you familiar with how escrow works?
Somewhat.
So basically you put your first month's payment here into this little circle over here, into this escrow account. And this is going to give you life insurance during the underwriting process. Okay. So as we're going through this process, Caleb, $150 is going to get you, we'll say it's 300,000. We'll say we're doing a power term policy, right? So 300,000 in instant issue coverage for both you and your wife. It's going to give you 25,000 for all the kids. The child rider is kind of like a Netflix account. You can have one payment and 12 logins, right? So you can have up to 12 kids. So I know you guys have like 2 or 3 kids right now. You can have 9 more kids and they'd still all be covered. It'd be the same price. Okay. I always joke like that with people and they always laugh. It just kind of breaks the tension in the air a little bit because they don't usually, most people don't want to pay for life insurance. You know what I mean? Like it's just something they do because they need to. So it just kind of breaks the tension. Anyway, Caleb, you're going to have medical insurability forever. The kids are going to have medical insurability forever. You guys are going to have access to $210,000 each in the event of a terminal illness. Caleb, do you guys currently have access to over 200 grand in the event of one of you guys getting sick?
No.
All right, so you're going to have $210,000 in the event of that happening, okay? You're also going to have waiver of premium, which is a disability rider, okay? Everybody type disability in the Zoom chat. If you ever become disabled, this means that you are able to plug in to, excuse me, if you ever become disabled, this means that Primerica is going to pay for your life insurance for you for up to the length of your life. If you remain disabled, they're going to continue to pay for it. You'll get a 6-month refund check back if you're disabled for 6 months, okay? So they're going to literally give you money back and continue to pay for it. Caleb, if you passed away early, the kids, they'd continue to pay for the kids' life insurance until they're 25 years old as well. Okay, so you're gonna have all this stuff. We're gonna do the quick medical, make sure that we can get you covered. Now, Caleb, there's 3 or 4 outcomes to your life if something like this happens, right? You could pass away in the next couple of weeks. I don't think that that's gonna happen, but it's a possibility. If you guys did, the company is gonna pay you $300,000 per person. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Guys, watch how many tie downs I make right here. Okay. In the next 5 minutes, watch how many yes questions I ask him. So Caleb, if something happens to you in the next 2 weeks and you pass away, your wife's going to get $300,000. Is that fair?
Okay, well, I just
Yes.
Awesome. And then Caleb, if something happens to your wife, you're going to get $300, but you're going to get $300 or 300,000 as well with the death benefit during the underwriting process. Okay. Does that make sense so far?
Okay, let's see if he's.
Yes.
Before we see it,
All right. So after that, Caleb, there's about 3 more outcomes. Okay. So the first one is the company could say, hey, you know what? We can't cover you. Got a lot of medical issues, felonies, whatever. There's, for some reason, they can't cover you. You're going to get your $150 back and a refund check. Now you're not going to have any life insurance anymore, but you're going to get the money back. So you're not out any money out of your pocket. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. The second option, Caleb, is that the company says, hey, we can cover you. And maybe it comes back a little bit more expensive. Maybe you just decide you don't want to cover your family anymore and be protected financially in the event of emergency, whatever, that's fine. Whatever one you wanted to do, or if you decided you didn't want it, great. We'll give you a full refund. You'll get every penny back that you've paid, Caleb. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right, so the next one, Caleb, if you got approved, which I'm assuming you're going to get approved, Caleb, you're not lying. You didn't lie to me on medicals or anything like that, right? No felonies, no bankruptcies. You don't have like 7 forms of any sort of disease or anything, correct?
Correct.
All right, perfect. So what's going to happen then is you're going to get approval. And at that point, your policy would go into force, right? So right here, your policy would go into force. You had coverage during the 45 days here while you guys were in underwriting. Then your escrow payment covers month number 1, and then it's going to be monthly thereafter. Okay, so you're getting coverage for a month and a half for free. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're just putting that first down payment down, okay, and then it's monthly thereafter. So Caleb, what we're going to do, I'm going to pull up my screen. We're going to fill out the application. And we'll knock everything out. We'll submit it to underwriting, and then we'll get back together in a couple of weeks to finish the FNA. That's in 2 weeks. Okay, fair enough. I just need you to grab your I need you to grab your driver's license. What, it don't matter what you say right there. You just got to give them an ownership question. Go get what's your driver's license number? Who's the beneficiary? What's your address? Something like that. You just got to get them to give you the answer that they own it, right? So guys, that's 5 minutes on the A diagram, and you'll close if you master what I just said. And Ian does it at Y Primerica on the KT as well. If you guys master that, you'll close over 70% of your life insurance. What's happening, I guarantee this is what's happening, guys. You're going on appointments and you're not doing the A diagram. You're like, oh, we'll just apply and then maybe you'll get your money back. And if you don't want to, you just think about it. No, that's not, no. Draw the A diagram every time, because it gives them the 3 outcomes. You don't get approved, you get your money back. You do get approved, you don't want it, you get your money back. You do get approved, you do want it, you pay. That's the first month payment. You got to master that stuff, guys. The reason that we made so much money in the beginning was because everything Andy ever even remotely mentioned on one of these morning calls, he's like, get this book, listen to this podcast, listen to this thing, do that, do this. I did it every time, every single time, without question. I wasn't like, oh, what's his motive? Is he trying to just make money off me? No, I didn't give a shit. I just knew that it was what was required to get good at the business. I knew that if he was telling me to listen to Y Primerica at the KT, it was because that was going to teach me why Primerica life insurance was better, so I could show and explain to other people when I was on the appointments. Does that make sense? Like, I'm telling you guys to go listen to that audio today. It's Y Primerica at the kitchen table. It was posted in the Telegram yesterday. If one of you could go post it again in the Telegram today, that would be amazing. Guys, I'm saying this with love. Do not get on this call tomorrow morning if you do not watch that today. Okay? Is that fair? If your boss told you you had to watch an hour-long video to get better at your job, to keep your $15 an hour job, I guarantee you all would have watched it yesterday. 100% guaranteed. Okay? Watch that video today. That video will make you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime if you watch that and you master that video. Okay? It's going to make you more money than the Netflix that you're watching. It's going to make you more money than the reels you're scrolling on. I promise you. Watch the video, write it down, transcribe it, study it like it's important, because it is. I'm not telling you all that because I want you to waste an hour of your day. I'm telling you that because that will probably be the best return on time investment that you will ever have in your life. Watching and memorizing and knowing inside and out that one video will pay you a fortune over your lifetime. Okay? Does it sound like that maybe is something that's important that we should probably do today? Yes? Fair? Okay. Guys, I wouldn't be harping on it if it wasn't important. Okay. I just want y'all to know that. I'm not going to give you something that's going to take you an hour of your day if I didn't think it was super important for you. Okay. I need you guys I need us. Most of you guys on here are either already licensed, having a little bit of a team, or you're getting to that point. Take it seriously, because unless you want to go get another job in 3 months, you need to get good at it. You need to understand it. It doesn't mean you need to be amazing at sales, but if you can draw that little A diagram and you can master the yes questions, right? If you can master it's a 10-minute presentation or a 15-minute presentation with a 5-minute A diagram at the end, and then you fill out a life insurance application. It takes 25 to 30 minutes. And you're making, I don't know, David, you got paid last night. I don't know if you know that or not. You made $320 off your first life insurance policy. David, how much work did you do on that appointment yesterday, would you say?
Pretty much none.
Basically nothing. Yeah, I was on the appointment with him, helping him train him with his mom. And so you're going to make a lot more money than that, David, but you got to understand, and this is for everybody, you got to understand that you're going through that process. It's okay, we just got to learn it, right? We just got to be able to do it by ourselves, because when you're independent, you're going to make more money because you can go do it without somebody else, right? You're going to have more of a contract level. When you're independent, you're training other people, guys. So here's the thing, guys, we're about 10 days away from month end. We are not far off of what we did in January. I really want to challenge you guys. I want to see who's going to show up and who's going to play at the end of the month. I want to throw a challenge out for the May Leadership School. Okay. So, and you got to be on, they got to watch these calls. I'm never going to announce this in our team chat, because I want people to get on this call, and I'll talk about it on Sunday night also. But if you do either 5 personal recruits or $5,000 in premium between now and the end of the month, which is April 3rd at 3 a.m. Eastern time. So 5 recruits or 5,000 in premium, guys, we will we will reimburse your flight for you when you guys get down here in May for the leadership school on May 5th and 6th. All right, down here to Tampa. So 5 recruits or 5,000 in premium. Either way, I do not care, but they need to be personal. Direct recruits or 5,000 in personal premium. We will reimburse your flight for you in May when you get down here. Okay. So make that happen, guys. Fight for that. It's just for the end of the month. We have another incentive in April. I don't know what it is. Don't ask. I have to make it up still. But we'll have another incentive in April for some stuff for that as well. But guys, I'm telling you guys, it's time to go get after it. It's the end of the month. Let's go make a statement this month and show them that January and February, we're not flukes, that our team is serious. We're here to get big and to put some numbers up on the scoreboard. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.